Hey, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. I have to remember that today is Thursday. And I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. And I am your host, who's the most, the Nicole Johnson. And the beautiful lady sitting on screen with me is Miss Slay by Shay. Shay Cunningham. Shay Cunningham. Say hi to the people, girl.
Woohoo!
Listen, technical difficulties tonight have been rampant. We have lost one of our show guests tonight, and it's okay. I'm sure she'll be popping back in. I am actually using another device and sitting in a different location that's kind of foreign to me. But you know what? The show must go on. So we obviously have some gems for you guys tonight. No pun intended about the gym.
Right.
Gyms in the gym, but I am sitting in a different location because there were technical difficulties. Tech is great until it breaks, is what I always say. So we are celebrating the month of March, which is recognized as Women's History Month. And for that, let me point out, I am so grateful for the jet setters who came before us, for the people who made it possible. And I'm going to do a special episode, probably the last Thursday of this month, which will be a week from today. I'm going to do a special episode to pay homage to some of those who have paved the way in the field of law and medicine and technology and engineering and Shay's favorite, fashion and beauty. Yes. We are going to pay homage to them because it is because of their efforts, their blood, sweat, and tears that we can sit before you today and then pay homage to the women who are still here and in the fight, making it possible for people to let's see. Okay, she says she's backstage. Let me see. I'm on a different device. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, yes. I'm glad she said something. Let's see if I can bring her on into. I need to bring her in to add to the stream. Oh, ain't reading fundamental. Reading is so fundamental.
I made it, guys.
So again, so you were paying homage to the women who are here. And our other guest tonight is Lakeisha, and I'm gonna call her Hayes, right? Lakeisha Hayes, because you know I had to put that Cobb Hayes or the Hayes Cobb. Y'all in these hyphenated names. I love y'all. But Mr. Randall, I got you. And Lakeisha, say hi to the people.
Hey.
Yay. So Lakeisha is one of our returning guests. She's been here before on our platform. And you know what I really love, ladies, is I've connected with you ladies through the same medium, right? Through the same medium, but for different reasons. And the what I love the most is that regardless to how the connection was made, the connection still exists. And that is so important, especially in business. So let me start by saying we are broadcasting live on the Brownstone Worldwide and KCCR Radio, which is brought to you by your girl Paulette. And she's gonna be mad when I say this, but one of the original members of Arrested Development. Come on now. Yes. So we grew up listening to your girl Paulette. Okay, come on now. So, and I absolutely love it because she's here with this platform. Despite the ups and downs, the downs and the downs, it's always highs and lows when you are a business owner. But this platform exists to help change the narrative of our Black and Brown community. And for that, I am grateful. So tonight, we are going to get into the same questions that all of our guests have discussed this week. How better money management and budgeting helps them live their best life. Right. So let me tell you, I'm not going to give all they coins business out because that's their private coins business information. But listen, let me say, Slay by Shay, her passport got plenty of stamps. Homegirl be traveling. She be from here to there to there to here. I done seen more vacations. I have seen more mini trips than a little bit. Lakeisha, let me just say, she is opening up. How many sites do you have, Lakeisha?
I have 4 clinics now.
Boom. But listen, but let me tell y'all something. She was a millionaire in her own right before the sites were open. Before the sites were open. Out there in Sunnyvale, California. Yes, and y'all already know California and New York, one of the two most expensive states in the union to live in. So homegirl ain't playing with no penties. Okay? She's not playing with penties. But when I met, let me say this. Okay, so Shay knows I have a confession to make. So Shay and I met in a coaching program, right? And it was Course to 10K by our coach, who we love today. Who we love today. Shay was just with her a few days ago, and she was my first guest on this show on March 2nd. And so when Shay brought her little pretty self up in there, y'all, I just had to tell y'all, she came in the door. She had her information already ready. I was building, but she launched her course before me. And I was like, okay, and that's so nice. And then the teacher came back with, and all of a sudden, Shay was teacher's pet. I was like, oh hell no, she not gonna be taking my place as teacher's pet. What is really going on here, y'all? It's just some healthy competition. But Shay was like, no, ain't no competition. Oh, she just don't understand. Not for you, boo, but for me. So I was so proud of her and excited to see, because I looked at it, if she can do it, I can do it. And she was so giving and loving with information and tips. And I was like, thank you, boo. Because I'm finna tear it out the box. Not knock. I'm finna tear it out the box. Shay she thinks differently. She processes differently. So and then her excitement and her energy. She could put the energizer bunny to shame. She just go, 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 go. And so when I launched my course, when I hit because the course was called Course to 10K. When I hit my 10K, I was like, yeah, that's great. My coach was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, but it's not a 5-figure month till I beat her 5-figure. Y'all, I told Shay, I said, you were when it was over with, I finally made my official confession. I was like, Shay, we was in competition. Okay, I was in competition. I said, but I thank you for my motivation. I really, really did. And it was exciting because there was, it was just good, clean fun. It was laughs. So Slay by Shay, I want you to go ahead and tell the people about what you do and who you serve. And then we're going to get into Lakeisha, because I got a whole story about her too. And then we're going to get into these questions about living our best life.
Okay, excellent. Okay, first of all, can I just say you are killing me with this fan? It's the swoosh for me. It's the swoosh.
Listen, that clack, it's the clack, it's the clack.
It's the clacking, okay? But anywho, thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much for having me here. This is such an honor. I love coming on platforms such as this, just to be able to share, like, if it can be a help to just one person. I'm not trying to save the world, but if anything that I say could be any spark, any inspiration, any motivation for just one person, I've done my job, right? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shay Cunningham, but I'm in these streets known as Slay by Shay. I help ambitious women who are on the fast track in their careers and their businesses with looking and feeling as brilliant as their brand. And so many of you have amazing brands. And the one missing piece for some of us is looking and feeling as amazing as our brands are. Mm-hmm. That's what I help female entrepreneurs and business owners and corporate executives. I help them bridge the gap between the two so they can show up and like kill it in any situation. So that's what I do. That's my vibe. And yes, we're going to talk more about all the trips and all the stamps and all of that good stuff and how I'm afforded that opportunity, because it does come with some really necessary strategic things that have to happen behind the scenes to make all of that happen. I always tell my husband, because he knows this, but I have to remind him that I make it look easy, but it's not. I'm good at
She
making
wears it well, y'all. She wears it well. Yes. So Shay, I'm so glad to have you. And we're gonna get into all of that and then talk a little bit more about how the people can find you. Now, Miss Lakeisha, let me tell you. Lakeisha and I met also. As a matter of fact, all of us met in with that same coach, and that's the beauty about being in a circle because you always build those relationships because entrepreneurship can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be when you network with people. Now, Miss Lakeisha, let me say this: she is the defiant one. Like she is the epitome of tell me no, and I'll show you I can. She's got that kind of story. And when I first heard her talk about how even with teachers who said what she wouldn't be, she was like, oh, really? Bet. And I love it. She might not have gone back and said, now eat your words, but the life she is living is unconventional by their determination, but it's the best life that she lives. And I love it. She's a new grandma. Yes. And that little girl is the light, the babies that she gave birth to are the apple of her eye. But when that little grandbaby came on, she was like, y'all get out the way. Y'all gone on now. Go live your life. But here is Lakeisha's favorite phrase, and it tickles me beyond no end. But mama, why you do that? But did you die? And what I love about her is that when she had teachers who told her what she couldn't do, what she wouldn't be, when she grew up and became a business owner, it was um her life's work to turn around and help other children. And I absolutely love it. So Lakeisha, tell the people what let me make sure I can see this. Strategic behavior coaching does and how you help the children.
Well, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm deserving of all of that, but that is my favorite
Shay said we got to make the girls feel good.
word. That is absolutely my favorite word. But did you die? Just based off of where I've been, where I'm going, and just where I am now. Having Nicole in my life has been astronomical because she's the one who keeps me grounded. I'll be like, hey, I want to go say this. She'd be like, Keisha, don't you do it. Don't you do it. I'll be like, but if I say it, it'll be really, really good. She's like, no, 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 it won't. No, it won't. I'm going to need you to sit down. Sit down somewhere. Just think about it. And I'll be like, oh, okay. All right. So I am in Southern California where it is absolutely not sunny. It's quite rainy here and has been for a while now. And I own and operate a behavioral health company working with children and adults with disabilities, providing ABA, applied behavior analysis services, behavior services to those children from 2 to adult. Honestly, just across the spectrum. We have about 4 centers across Southern California. They're integrated therapy and play centers. The reason why they're integrated therapy and play centers because we want to make sure that everyone understands and knows that they're accepted anywhere and everywhere. And so we wanted to make sure that all kids have a safe space. And that's what we do at Key Essentials, Behaviors or Not. And where we get the strategic behavior coaching part from is not only a lot of people think, oh, she opened up her business for children with special needs. And I was just like, I've been in this field for over 20 years and I did not, contrary to popular belief, open up this business for children with special needs. I opened up for this business for people that look like me. I opened up a business for people that needed to grow within themselves and have a viable career and able to do that in their own way. And so that's one of the reasons why, helping kids and helping families is a byproduct of that.
Mhm.
That's the cherry on top for me. And so
Mhm.
I've not transitioned because I still operate those businesses, but I also opened up my strategic behavior consulting business to provide uh, co- uh, coaching to entrepreneurs that need to learn how to scale their business from 0 to 6, 7 figures and learn how to become that true CEO. And that's what we're doing right now. So we teach you how to go from working in your business to working on your business, and what does that look like and entail. And I'm sure, as a lot of you guys probably can feel it, it's really hard to make that transition. So that's one of the things that we do at Strategic Behavior Consultants.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I was very intentional with who I put together when we did these shows, right? I'm very intentional because the vibe, the energy, the education, the background, all of those things gel well, right? So I wanted to have, as much as I talk to people, especially women, about their money and how to budget and what budgeting can do for them and what good money management can do for them. Sometimes until we see someone actually doing it, we may not always believe that we can do it, right? And it's great to say, what the people who came before us did. But I like to show them, listen, this person is one of the young ladies last week, very young in age, early 30s, true entrepreneur, doing it. Then we have some who are moms. We have wives. Both of you are wives. Both of you have children. Both of you are doing something that some working women feel like they can. I can't do that. I can't build a business and then eventually fire my boss. I can't do that. Well, you know what? It's Women's History Month. History doesn't always have to be from back then. We can make history in our present day. So I remember when Shay wrote her resignation letter. I feel like I'm a part of history with that. I really do. So Shay, talk to the people. Tell them what was the proverbial straw that broke you to say, I'm done.
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to share this. It might get emotional, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. But I like sharing this story because I don't think that it's an uncharacteristic story. I think it's pretty common, and that is it didn't happen. It was no one thing, to be honest, Nicole. It was no one thing, but it was that time, if you will. It was that time for me. So just really quickly, a little backdrop is I have over 20 years experience in human resources. That was like my study. That's what I did for in practice a long time. Really successful at it, came right out of college, did all the things that, our generation, Gen Xers, were told to do. Okay. Go to school, get a good education, get 2 degrees, not just one, because that ain't enough. You need two. And then you can get more than that. But
Right.
get at
Become a
least
professional student.
yes. Now nobody said they was gonna pay for this. Okay, you stuck with the bill, but go to get them 2 degrees so you can get that good job and work for somebody else for I don't know 30, 40 years and then retire and get your pension, right? Well,
Or
um,
become the Walmart greeter, whichever one.
that part. So I followed that path for a really long time early on, and I had a I'll just say disenchanting experience, okay, and with corporate America, and it sent me in kind of a tizzy in terms of, is this what I want for my life? Is the red tape what I want? Is the discrimination what I want? Is the generalization what I want? Is the code switching what I want? All of these things that are part of the life of Black females in corporate, is that what I wanted for another? Because I could foresee that happening for another 30, 40 years if I follow the path, right, that I was on. And so it got to the point where it was bubbling up inside me and it was impacting my mental health. Okay.
Mm.
So it got to the point where I was having panic attacks at my desk. I would go to work, and you know how you swipe your card at the garage, you get there, I would like just be pouring tears. And I hated going into that institution that much. So fast forward, I knew I had to do something because my health was getting impacted. I went to the doctor. The doctors did what doctors do. Okay. He prescribed
Mhm.
antidepressant medication and told me to go see a therapist, all this other stuff. And I was
All
just
the things.
whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute, you taking me too fast. At this point, I was in my late 20s. Just fighting for my space, right? In corporate America and in the skin that I'm in and in the environment that I was in. And so I just prayed. I prayed instantly after I got that prescription. I'll never forget. I was sitting in the parking lot and I looked at this prescription. I just prayed to God. I said, would you have me medicated to work for somebody else?
Mm.
And so I immediately got the answer. And the very next day, I did not have a plan B, C, D, or E. But the very next day, I put in my 2 weeks notice, and it felt like an elephant literally had came off of my shoulders. Even though I didn't have a plan B, C, D, or E, it was just the lift of the heaviness of what I was experiencing up to
Mhm.
for so long. So I decided to take a hiatus for a little while. I had a little saved up by then. And so I took a little bit of a
Wait,
hiatus.
wait. Say that part again. I had a what?
Yes, I did.
I had,
I had a little nest egg saved
she
up.
see y'all heard that part right. She said she had some money in savings. Okay, okay. We couldn't let that just slide by, no ma'am. Okay, go ahead, keep going. Okay, go ahead.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I had probably done something that a lot of younger people don't do, but I was putting a lot of money into my 401k as well. So I had a big build up on 401k. So let's just say I had some cushion to figure my life out. Okay. But you're right. It did come with the forethought of anything can happen. You need emergency funds, whatever the case may be. And so I took a hiatus for a little while and I read this book called Purpose Driven Life and by Rick Warren. And it takes you through the exercise of writing your purpose statement. And once
Mhm.
I wrote my purpose statement, it helped me get really centered and aligned, not just with my passion, but why I'm here on earth, why I'm in this universe to make it a better place. And so when I had that crystallized, I wrote it handwritten and I taped it. Y'all know glue sticks, right? So you know I meant this. I'll use a glue stick to stick it on my mirror to make sure that I seen it every single day. And you know that's serious because glue stick don't really come off mirror real good, right? Glue stick is not good for the mirror. But that's how intentional I was about staying aligned to my purpose at that time. And so it helped me form what now is this business, a part of the business that I do, which is personal styling, image consulting, and things of that nature for successful women and women on the rise in their business and their careers. I think we lost her, but I guess I'm still going. Okay, I'm gonna assume. Okay, so there she is. So you back? Can you hear me, see me okay? Okay, cool. So so from there I went ahead and I worked that for about 10 months. And what I found is this was 2008, by the way, so I'm dating myself a little bit, but what I found at that time, because there was no social media. Okay. So whatever business you drummed up, you did it by hoofs on the pavement, right? Like, so I was at every conference, every brunch, every networking event I could get at to get my name out. And so the bills started to pile up. I didn't want to completely deplete my savings and all of that kind of stuff. So I had to make a deep rooted decision at that point. And we were going through recession, by the way. You remember 2007, 2009 up in there. So I'm like, okay, This time, though, if I go back to corporate America so that I don't have to decline my lifestyle, it's going to be on my own terms. And so I did that. And I meant that and I did that. But as most of us experience, when we have a purpose and or a passion, sometimes life starts lifing, right? And it gets in the way. And so you put it on a shelf and then you go back to what's comfortable and what's familiar. So for me,
Oh.
okay. And so before you know it, you still dabble and dabble in that purpose and passion, but before you know it, it gets further and further back on the shelf. Okay.
Mhm.
Because now, fast forward 10, 12 years, I'm popping, right? Like I've got all the promotions I wanted. I've had, managed led teams. I'm traveling. I'm like, I'm doing good. Okay. I'm
Mhm.
at life. Okay. But here is what made me say, I gotta switch. I gotta do what I'm here to do. I found myself being nudged in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was God telling me, where's your purpose?
Mhm.
You're not fulfilling your purpose. Everything feels like it's in place. It looks like it's in place, but you are not fulfilling the purpose that I put you here for. You're trying to make it fit, but it is not it. Okay. And so that's
Let
how
me let me ask you right there, because I've heard Keisha talk about the same thing before about getting to what the purpose is. So that's a good stopping point, because I got to do a station break and remind you guys that we are live here on the Brownstone Worldwide and KCCR Radio, where we are changing the narrative for our Black and Brown people. And basically what we know to be true is that if the um
So this is where I'm going to jump in. I know that she's been kind of choppy today, guys. So I forgive us. I know she's trying to pop back in now.
listen, pop
So
right back in.
there you go. All right.
If the
Yay.
narrative, roll right back into it. If the narrative is still being told wrong in 20, 30, 40 years, it's our fault, not theirs, right? And so, Keisha, I want to bring you up, into where you went through your story when it comes to deciding to leave the corporate America scene because enough was enough.
First of all, I was never meant to be anybody's employee.
period.
Did y'all hear what she said? And I'm gonna go into that point just a little bit. Shay knew something in corporate America. It looked good, it smelled good, it felt good for a while, but she couldn't stay there. Whereas Lakeisha said, you know what? I ain't never been. I told y'all she was the defiant one. I told y'all that in the beginning. I told y'all that she was never meant to work for someone else, because so long when we work for corporate America, we're building up that agency, that corporation. Lakeisha was like, nah, dog, I ain't doing that. What I'm gonna do is build up Lakeisha, however that looks. And I love that, because some of you are sitting out there watching, you're catching this on the replay, and you are either in a corporate America or you're in a public service position and you're going, this really is not for me, or you're at a crossroad where you're going, I gotta pick a job or something else, and that something else is pulling you real hard. What Chingy say? Something every time I try to leave, something keep pulling me back. Because corporate America ain't it for you, and that's okay. Because see, parents nowadays are not telling you what our parents told us. You gotta go to school, get a good education, work 30, 40 years, retire, and hope you got enough in that pension plan to support you. So I love it, Lakeisha. Go ahead. I just had to put that out there. Go ahead. Me and Paul love these fans. We do.
Well, I think from the beginning, people are real hard pressed to find out that I graduated from high school with straight D's. So I've been a rebellion from the jump. I never followed the script. The script was not for me. They
Did
said
did y'all hear her say with straight D's?
straight D's. It
Not
was
AD, not two D's, not a DDD. She said straight D's.
straight D's. Straight D's.
Okay.
And that was just because my teacher went back and told them I was having a hard time, and they pitied me. I mean, in all honesty. So,
She got a Mercy diploma, and it's okay. That's okay.
I for sure got a Mercy diploma. So anybody out there listening, you got a Mercy diploma, you barely made it. Just know, I run a multi-million-dollar business.
Say that part again. Say that part again. She said a multi-million. I wasn't gonna put her number out there, but since she did, when I met her before the 4 centers were open, okay, before the 4 centers were open, she was a millionaire. Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one of the things that actually just kind of got me to where I am, I had this teacher, and I think she saw that I was just so rebellious that she was just like, she was like, come join my what was it, peer counseling. And I was like, I don't want to join your peer counseling class. Like, first of all, I don't like talking to people like that. Like, why would I join? You want me to go counsel people? I don't think that's a wise idea. Ms. Brown, I think you really got me messed up. So I was like, I didn't have nothing to do. My foster mother was like, hey, don't come back here until 5:30. And from 2:30 to 5:30, I had nothing to do except for getting a bunch of trouble. And so I guess she saw this. And so one of the lessons I learned very, very, very early on was that I had a choice, which is probably the worst thing that I could have ever been taught at that younger age. Is everything that I do is a choice. And I was like, no, that's not true. I was like, that's not true, lady, because you have to go to the bathroom. And she was like, no, you don't. I'm sorry, what? What are we talking about now? Because you have to go to the bathroom. Like, you're either going to defecate on yourself, you're going to pee on yourself. Like, something is going to happen.
But she's right. You can choose to stay right where you are. Your body gonna do what your body gonna do. Where it happens is your choice.
It's your choice. Yeah. That statement alone helped me my entire life. When I say my entire life, I carry that to this day. And as I was moving through, it was just very evident that I didn't like following directions, and people, they put it on every single, I think I went back and showed something not too long ago where a boss of mine was like, Lakeisha's a great worker. However, she doesn't follow directions very well. And it would just come up. And because I was smart enough, though, that they couldn't take advantage of me, that I would read the bylaws and then they try to do something slick. And I'd be like, nah, you can't do that. So I think somebody recognized, like, not somebody, but a principal recognized that in me. And she was like, hey, have you thought about going back to school? And I was like, nah, why would I do that? I mean, like, I got 6 kids and they all under like 10, and I'm like not even 30. Like, what would I go back to school for? What are you talking about? Like, and who has time? I don't have time to go back to school. I got 2-year-old twins. Like, are you kidding me? I got a kid in high school, in junior high at this time. No, there's no way. Like, I'm gonna keep being a pain in y'all behind for the rest of this time. So, just let me be. But I learned throughout that process that it was time for me to go back to school. So I researched and I did what I needed to do. And I found out eventually, as I, made my way, I found that I wanted to work alone. That's one thing I did know. I knew I needed to work by myself. I knew I needed to have enough money to be able to take care of my kids, to be able, and then also work. Those are incongruent. How can I make enough money and not have to be under somebody's thumb, and then have all of these children to take care of in this lifestyle? Those two things are existing at one time, but there's a problem here in the middle. And so that process led me to become a speech pathologist, which didn't happen because I told y'all I had 6 kids. And then when I went, and I told y'all I had straight D's, and I did not excel as a speech pathologist. You need a 4 point something for that, and that was not my ministry. I was like, I'm here. I'm a part of the C's Get Degrees Club, and now
I'm done. But you know what? This is what I hear. Two totally different backgrounds. They're both living the life that they want.
oh, absolutely.
Somebody said something the other day. Mercedes said it. Paulette Mercedes said it during her interview, and she owns and operates a mystery shopping company. She wanted to have a career or a business that would allow her to say yes to anything she wanted.
Yes, she did say that. Yeah.
That's stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a hard time putting it together about what I wanted to do, that was it. I want to be. It's like I'm not trying to be super filthy rich, but I want to be able to say yes to whatever it is I want. And that brings me to Shay and her traveling and her fun girls trip and her birthday trips and all the things that I know she said she wanted to do. Boom, at the drop of if Shay decided, you know what, I want to take both my kids and my husband to Cabo this weekend. As long as hubby can do what he need to do, guess where they going? To Cabo.
Yeah.
I told Shay, I said, Shay, I'm going to a conference in May. She's like, I haven't been to one of those. I want to go and we're going to stay here and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. I said, but I already bought a ticket. It's at this level. She said, we're not doing that. We're going up. I said,
this is the same conference you invited me to and then forgot to give me the information.
Answer who? I don't know why she be playing with me in public like this. But this is what we're doing. And so the ability for those of you who are considering, how can I do this? She just told she got 6 kids. She had a set of twins. There was 2, and she had a junior high. Y'all, them some steps in there. And that's okay. Because her babies don't want for nothing. And I know this. But she realized what her parameters are. And I can tell you, that girl can bounce a quarter off a tight sheet. So when it comes to knowing where the coins are, who getting what, how much am I paying you? Wait a minute, I ain't saying you do the work that salary affords you. So I'm gonna need you to either shape up or ship out. She don't play. Yeah. She don't play with them folk. I be like, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, you about to die though. So I want Shay, as we're getting, we're wrapping that, it's closing down, winding down. Shay, I want you to tell the people some of the things that better money management and budgeting and planning and strategy afford you to do for yourself and your family.
Yeah, thank you. I think for me that one strategy is very, very important because when I first when I was preparing to leave my 9 to 5, I knew that it was going to take like superhuman focus. Okay. And so because I needed to replace my income like that, I was not going to leave without replacing my income and knowing that not only can I replace it, but it's only going to go up from there. I did not want to repeat the same thing that happened to me back in 2008. I did not want that to happen to me. So I did, and you're familiar with this, Nicole, the 9 to 5, 5 to 9, 9 to 1 for a year. And what I call that is from 9 to 5, I did my corporate gig. From 5 to 9, that was my family time. And from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., every single, like 5 days a week, I worked on building my business. So whatever that meant, and usually that meant doing exactly what Kat told me to do, which was my business coach. So if that's building out emails, nurturing my group, whatever it took to build my business up so that I can replace my income. That's what I did from 9 to 1 for a year. I did this. Once I got to the point where, and here's the other thing, I had to learn very quickly that you're going to have to invest in yourself to get to the levels you want to get to, in a different way than you're used to in a 9-to-5 corporate situation. In a 9-to-5 corporate situation, a lot of times they pay for your, professional development.
Training and education. Yeah.
But in your business building, you're paying for it. And some of us have never, just shelled out 4 or 5 digits for coaching, for development on ourselves because we are our business. And so I wasn't used to that. And when I cut that check, I was like, oh, Lord, now I'm going to have to figure out how to, pay for this before I can even count what I need to leave 9-to-5, right? Because otherwise, I'm going to find myself in a hole coming out of the gate. And I did not want to do that. Again, I was trying to set myself up for success. So anyway, my goal was to be superhuman for at least a year to 2 years. And so that's how actually Nicole and I got into that competitive spell, because I told Kat, I was like, listen, I gotta pay for you first. That's the biggest thing that I have to do first. So I came out of the gate within 2 months of my coaching program to build my business. I had made $13,000. 2 months, boom, it was done. And I actually made the $13,000 in 13 days. Okay. But that's because I had a goal, I had a vision, I had superhuman focus. After that, though, I learned very, very quickly after I left my 9-to-5 that my whole way of life had just changed forever. Meaning that you don't have that every 2 weeks to look for that direct deposit. So you got to plan out your lifestyle, your bills, your taxes. Like, you got a real business at this point. So you got to figure out how to pay yourself and not use everything that's coming into your business to pay for yourself. You got to realize it's going to take money to make money. Like, there's so many components that come into play that you need to be preparing for at least a year to 2 years before you put in your notice. In my opinion, that would be my suggestion.
Right. So what have you been able to do now that you fired them?
Yeah. So for me, I had to learn really quickly that I can't just look a month in advance or 2 months in advance. I have to look a whole year to 2 years ahead so that I can be able to project not only my revenue, but my income and what I'm going to be able to take home. Because everything that you make, you can't keep. Okay.
Say that again. Say that again. You can make 5 and 6 figures. The goal is to keep 5 and 6 figures. There's a difference.
That part. So that's where the strategy and planning comes into play. So for me, I, do a lot of new business building from social media. So I got to be planning events, challenges, all the things that I need to bring in new business into my ecosystem way out in advance. I can't get up one morning and be like, I want to try this idea. I want to do this next month. I would be broke. Okay, still chasing a dream if I went about it that way. So I had to learn to plan ahead. But what I will tell you, Nicole, is that when I realized it's all worth it is about 6 months after I officially left my 9-to-5. I had put my notice in almost a year ahead, but when I officially left, my girlfriend, she was going to Cabo for her birthday. And I don't know if you remember this, but I went live from Cabo because it hit me like a brick. She was leaving. And so she's FaceTiming me from the airport. And she's like, Shay, I just wish you were here. It's a special birthday. Da, da, da. I was like, me too. I wish I was there. Now, I work for myself. Okay. So, but I still had that corporate mentality that I couldn't give myself permission unless something, right? And so I got off the phone. I was like, that didn't feel good. I should be able to be there with her. So I called her niece, which was the travel agent for the trip. I said, what would it take for me to get there tomorrow? And she told me, and I said, I'm there.
Here you go.
I said, don't tell her. Just
I'm
book.
popping up.
I'm going to pop up on that sister. So I get there. She's ecstatic. She's like, who just pulls up in Cabo? Like, who does that?
Man.
I'm like, won't God do it? Right?
Yeah.
And so I got there and it all sunk in for a second. And I'm like, wow, this freedom is what I've been working so hard for. I thought it was this, I thought it was that. It is that. It's legacy building. I can't give a corporate or a corporation to my kids if I don't own it. It's all of those things, but it's also time free.
Yes, I love it, Shay. I love it. And Lakeisha, what is it for you? I know some of them things. I done seen some of them things. I done heard some things. I done heard. I walked the walk with the place here to the. Okay, I ain't gonna tell her. So, what has it been for you and your family? What does freedom look like for you?
Freedom to do what I want when I want to, and that's really what it is. I was actually just last week at John Maxwell leadership conference, and what that was the question is like, if you could be anywhere and do anything you want, like how do you live your life? And I was like, in all honesty, I live my life the way that I want to. I get up when I want to. I go to sleep when I want to. Being afforded the choice to do what I want when I want to is my main reason. And I refuse to do anything that I don't want to. And if it doesn't make me happy and it doesn't serve me and it's not part of my purpose, then I have the right to say I'm not doing that. And so
can I just layer one little thing in there too? Because I'm sure that this is I'm not sure, but I'm thinking this may be the same for you, Lakeisha. It's the no guilt too, right? Like the no guilt. Like when I went on that trip, I was like, I don't have to feel guilty. Even if I was still in a 9 to 5, I could have called and been like, hey, I need off, blah, blah, blah. And they probably would have said, oh, fine, Shay, go ahead, do you. But I would have felt guilty the whole time.
Look, can't post pictures because they don't know. I done told them I'm sick. I'm calling in sick, or I'm using sick time, and I can't share no pictures. I can't tell nobody that I had a blast. Oh, Shay, you came back tan. Oh, girl, that's just some lotion I'm using.
Yeah, and it's even with family and like it's the guilt-free freedom for me, right?
Yeah. And I think that's the thing is I do not subscribe to being guilty. Like I tell people all the time, especially when they have kids, is kids come into your life, you don't go into theirs.
I believe that too.
Right. And so the decisions that I make over my life on a day-to-day basis are ones that are going to serve me long term, and if they don't, then I get rid of them.
That's good. Yeah. Hey, DJ Tony. Hey.
So that's for me. I think that's what this process has given us is the ability to live life on life the way that we want to.
Yeah.
That is an excellent point. And women, especially Black women, have been at home tending to the cheering, cooking and cleaning. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's your choice. Today's Black woman is in corporate America if they want to be. They're business owners when they want to be. They can do half of each. They can do all of one. They can do both. Yeah. They're really showing that we can make the decisions for ourselves to be exactly what we want to be on our terms. Some of us are moms. Some of us have decided, you know what? Motherhood is not my journey. It ain't my ministry. I'm just going to be a good auntie, a good godmama, so I can send you right on back home from whence you came. And I love that part, and it's okay. So if you guys that are out there watching this here on the Brownstone Worldwide and KCCR Radio, you're catching it over there on Girl Your Money Matters on the YouTube channel, you're watching us on LinkedIn, wherever you're joining in, the bottom line is that you have the choice.
Yeah.
Okay. If you manage your money better, if you start bringing in the income to bridge the gap where there are gaps, in order to do that, you have to know what's coming in. You have to know where it's going out. You have to know where the holes are in the pipeline. You have to be able to plug up the holes in the pipeline with additional streams of income. Shay has always said 9 to 5, 5 to 9, 9 to 1. I thought it was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when she first said it. But then when I started thinking, Lord, that's a strategy. And everybody has to have a strategy so that you can have the life that you want, right? And for some, it's going to be, I ain't working for nobody else. That is definitely Lakeisha's life. I ain't working for nobody. Not now, not ever. Shay has determined, okay, you know what? I like the promotions in corporate America. It was doing it. But you know what? I'm done with that too. Because now I want to travel when I want to. When my girlfriend say, let's go, baby, where? I'm not asking how. I ain't asking how much. That part right there. I'm asking when. That's it. And I only need to know how long so hubby can be on board. That's it. When the kids got to go, oh, you know what? I can't do that because I got to be there for the kids. A lot of us are missing out on things for the kids. So now I want you all to take away this. There's a whole lot that you can do and accomplish and be in your life when you are calling the shots. Yeah. And I'm bringing you guests who have told you there's a way, there's a strategy, there's a plan on how you can call the shots. So Shay, as we are closing out and counting down, because we have Marshawn Alania coming right after us to talk about Love Restored. Is that on Mondays? Yes, it is. This is Thursday. Y'all, I am so into making sure we know who the Brownstone people are. But we do have a special episode with Cullen. That's who we coming on afterward, where we talk about why so many professional Black women are single. You know, I have to hear what he got to say.
Yeah.
He's bringing on some of his frat brother friends. Oh. Okay, this because it's the men's edition. We already did the women's edition. So Shay, tell the people where they can find you.
Oh gosh, everywhere. Slay by Shay, just as you see it on the screen. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. I'm Slay by Shay. You'll find me. It's not hard to find.
Now listen, I am telling you guys, you saw my pictures from my last photo shoot. Shay was my stylist. She took some personal photos for me. She set up the whole makeup crew. She set up that lady is my normal hairstylist. That is Ruby S. Jackson here in Arlington, Texas. And then we have Miss Jazz McKeel, who was the bomb photographer. Okay, like her photos are now my cover for my upcoming book. My upcoming book. But that's another story. I'm so excited. Don't make me cry. So Slay by Shay, if you are in now, here's the thing. She's not only in the Dallas, Texas area who can style and help you there. She helps style Lakeisha from California. She travels too. Have clothes will travel. That's the thing. Have clothes will travel. So be sure to check her out. And Lakeisha, what I love about Lakeisha and her business is not only is she teaching CEOs to get to the true CEOs, she's still working with children and adults who need behavioral assistance. And I love her facilities. They're bright and colorful. I almost feel like I want to go color inside the lines because I still have yet to develop that skill. I can't color inside the lines. So Lakeisha, tell the people where they can find. I like coloring on the outside of the triangle. So tell the people where they can find you as well.
It's only a triangle if you believe it's a triangle.
Well, that Delta sign say, it is one. But go ahead.
So you can find me on at strategic_behavior or www.strategicbehaviorconsultants.com.
Tony said he color still a little bit. So listen, you guys, thank you so much for being here. As always, I absolutely love you. I appreciate you. You guys if you don't have a circle, get your circle. My circle is deep and tight. Okay. So if you are looking for ways to increase your savings and decrease your budget, I want you to go over to www.thenicolejohnson.com and make sure you download the 10 tips that you can start implementing today. And we'll have more information coming out for the Power Legacy Summit that'll be held virtually online tax day weekend. We'll have more information coming from you. As always, we thank you for watching Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. I am your host, The Nicole Johnson. We'll see you with a special platform display on Monday, where we have a whole panel coming to talk about the ugly side of entrepreneurship, because it's real. You all have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Nicole.